Okay, in the last class, I had given this problem as the assignment to you. Have anybody done? Okay, I will give some idea about this problem. See, three similar coils. Don't write anything, just listen. I will give the idea how to solve this problem. Three similar coils. Resistance is 20 ohm. Inductance is 0.05 Henry. So I have to convert this inductance L into XL. What is the formula for XL? Okay, I'll write it on the board.
Sir, omega L.
Omega L. XL is omega L. See here. I think board is visible.
Yes, sir.
See here, they are asking two connections. One is star, another one is delta. This is 1, 2, 3. Three phases they are giving. R is 20 ohm. R is 20 ohm they have given. Now inductance is 0.05 Henry. This is in ohm. This should be also in ohm. This inductance should also be in ohm. Therefore, XL is equal to 2 pi FL. Yeah, what is the frequency given in the problem? What is the frequency given in the problem?
50 hertz.
50 hertz.
L is 0.0. If you determine, you'll get 15 ohms. If you multiply F and L with 2 pi, you'll get 15 ohms. Therefore, this is J15. J15 ohms. This is also 20 J15. This is 20 J15. This is the star connection. In the star connection, he is asking us to determine the line power absorbed and line current. We can't determine the line current directly. First, we have to determine the phase current because we know the phase impedance. What is the line voltage given in the problem?
400, sir.
400 volts. Your VL is 400. 400 volts. Okay. See here. I am writing here. Here VL is equal to root 3 into V phase. In star connection, VL is equal to root 3 into V phase. IL is equal to I phase. In star connection, IL is equal to I phase. Okay. Now listen here. Now I know R and XL value. Similarly, I am drawing the delta connection also here. In delta connection also, this is the starting phase, second phase, third phase. We are having three phases, 1, 2, 3. Your line voltage is 400 volts. 400 volts. But in the delta connection, what is the formula? VL is equal to V phase. That is equal to 400 volts. In delta, delta is parallel connection. VL is equal to V phase. But in star connection, what is your V phase? V phase is equal to VL by root 3. If you take VL by root 3, how much you will get here?
$230.9.
Okay. See, in your textbook, they are giving 231 volts. 231 volts. But in delta, what is V phase?
volts.
400. See the difference? In star connection, your V phase is 231, but in delta, V phase is 400 volts. Okay. Now here, Z phase is same in both the cases. In both the cases, your Z phase is same. What is the Z phase value? (20 plus J15 ohms). Your Z phase is 20 plus J15 ohms. Okay. Up to this clear? Now see here. In star connection and delta, we can't determine the line current directly. I phase is equal to V phase by Z phase. Here V phase is 231. Z phase converted to polar form.
25, sir.
25 at an angle. What is the angle?
36 around.
36. Okay, ohms. So
Sir,
here Z phase is 25. What?
Approximately, I told.
Across? Not getting. What is your point?
Not exact, sir. I told approximately.
Approximate 36. Okay. 25 at an angle 36. Okay. Similarly, here I phase is equal to in delta connection V phase by Z phase. What is V phase here? See the difference. Here I phase is 231 by 25. Here I phase is 400 by 25. Because VL is equal to V phase. In delta connection, VL is equal to V phase. But in star connection, V phase is equal to VL by √3. So there is difference in the phase currents. This is the phase current, this is the phase current. Now after determining the phase current in star connection, what is IL? What is IL? In star connection. But in delta connection, what is the value of IL? Is it okay? In star connection, IL is equal to I phase. But in delta connection, IL is equal to √3 into I phase. See, IL is equal to √3 into I phase in delta connection. Very simple problem, but you should know the formulas. But you should know how to solve the problem. Don't confuse in exam. Next, power P in both the cases. Power P is equal to three formulas are there. 3 into I phase square into R. What is the other formula? What is another formula? We can use any formula. So this is same formula applied for delta connection also. Same formula can be applied for delta connection also. That's all about this problem. That's all about it. You can do it at home. I'm giving this as the assignment. But since you will be getting confused here in between the phase currents, I have explained this one. In star connection, VL is equal to √3 into V phase. But in delta connection, VL is equal to V phase. Any doubt in the problem? Okay. Completed? You can solve it at home. Next we'll go to, we have completed the unit 2. We'll start unit 3. We'll start unit 3. Unit 3 is your transformers. Unit 3 is your transformers. We'll start the transformers now. What do you mean by transformer? What do you mean by transformer? Have you seen the transformer?
Yes, sir.
Near your house, you might have seen the transformer.
Yes, sir.
I'm drawing the symbol of the transformer. See here. This is the symbol of the transformer. This is the symbol of the transformer. In transformer, this is the primary winding. This will be secondary winding. Let us take N1 is the number of turns in the primary coil. This is the coil. Primary coil. Coil means copper wire. Coil means copper wire. 1, 2, 3 turns are there. N1 is equal to 3 turns. Number of turns 1, 2, 3. Here how many turns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turns. N2 is the secondary coil. N is the number of turns of the coil. N1 is equal to 1, 2, 3. 3 turns are there. N2 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 turns are there. N2 is 5. Let us take 1 turn is equal to 1 volt. If N1 is equal to 3 turns, what is the total voltage? If 1 turn is 1 volt, 3 turns is 3 volts. Then what is the voltage here in the secondary winding?
5.
5 volts. 1 turn is equal to 1 volt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 volts. Total 5 volts. Now here your primary voltage is 3 volts. Secondary voltage is 5 volts. That means we are stepping up the 3 volts to 5 volts. Voltage is increased from primary to secondary. It is called step up transformer. This is called step up transformer. So your input is AC voltage. Input is AC voltage. Input is AC voltage. We are stepping 3 volts to 5 volts. 3 volts AC to 5 volts AC. Transformer is an AC device which steps up the voltage or step down the voltage. Suppose if N1 is equal to 5 and N2 is equal to 3, what is the transformer called? If you reverse this turns, number of, if here 5 turns I will take, here I will take 3 turns. I will take 5 turns here. Here I will take 3 turns. Then what is this transformer? Step down. If N1 is great, if N2 is greater than N1, your voltage is higher than the input voltage, primary voltage. Your secondary voltage is greater than primary voltage. V2 greater than V1. This is called step-up transformer. This is called step-up transformer. Suppose if N1 is 5, N2 is 3. What is this transformer called? We are stepping down the voltage. Voltage is stepped down. That is called step down voltage. Step down transformer. That is called step down transformer. There are 2 types of transformers. We can increase the voltage. If N2 is greater than N1, voltage is higher. That's why it is, we are stepping the voltage from 3 volts to 5 volts. We are stepping up the voltage from 3 to 5 volts. Suppose if N1 is 5, N2 is 3, means we are stepping down the voltage. We are stepping down, we are decreasing from 5 volts to 3 volts. That is called step down transformer. Okay, here I will connect the load. Here I will connect the load, LOAD load. What do you mean by load? What is the load in your house? What is the load in your house? Tube lights, fan, fridge, TV. All these are the loads. All these loads consume the power. All these loads consume the power. Then you are getting the electric bill. If the load is consuming the power, you will get the electric bill. Okay. In your house, your loads are TV, fridge, AC, whatever may be the consuming the power. All those are called the loads in your house. Okay. So we are using the transformer for stepping up the voltage or step down the voltage. Near your house, you might have seen the transformer. Sometimes you will be listening that transformer has blasted. Sparks are coming in the transformer. Why means your load is high, greater than the transformer voltage. Suppose if you are taking the load in near your house, if your transformer is, let us take your transformer is 11,000 volts. Your transformer is 11,000 volts, and the transformer is connected to one apartment. Transformer is connected to one apartment or two apartments, single transformer. If the apartment load is greater than this 11,000 volts, it is overloaded. Transformer will be overloaded because transformer maximum capacity is 11,000 volts, but your load is more than the 11,000 volts. That's why some spark will occur in transformer. Sometimes transformer winding will burn out. Inside the transformer winding is there. What is that winding? Primary winding and secondary winding. That will be melted, that will be burnt out, because if the load should not be greater than the transformer voltage. Always transformer voltage should be greater than the load. Suppose if your more load is putting in your house, a number of ACs are more, load will be more in summer sometimes. That's why transformer sometimes it will be blown out. That is the reason why transformers are windings are burnt out. Always your load should be less than the transformer voltage. Suppose if your load is increasing, then what you will do? We have to increase the capacity of the transformer. We have to increase the capacity of we have to install big size transformers. We have to install big size transformers like 33,000 volts like this. We have to install more rated transformers. Then your transformer will be safe. Okay, forget about all these things. We'll come to our topic, that is transformers. See here, what is the principle in the transformer? Before going to the principle in transformer, I want to tell two things. One is how electrical energy, how magnetic energy is generated, how electrical energy is generated. See here, I am taking one coil here. I am taking one coil. This is the coil. Coil means winding. Coil means winding. Let us take current is flowing through this coil. Let us assume current is flowing through this coil. If current is flowing through the coil, current is an electric or magnetic quantity? Electric quantity or magnetic quantity? Current. Anyone? Electrical quantity or magnetic quantity?
Electrical.
Electrical quantity. From the electrical quantity, we can generate the magnetic field, magnetic quantity. See here, if current is passing through this coil, around the current carrying conductor, magnetic flux is generated. From the electrical quantity, we are getting the magnetic quantity. Similarly, from the magnetic field, you can generate the electric field. Here, we are from the electric quantity, we are generating the magnetic quantity. Write a note, NOT. Draw this coil. Keep the current like this. Right on. Around the current carrying conductor, magnetic flux is generated. Around the current carrying conductor, magnetic flux is generated. Around the current carrying conductor, magnetic flux is generated. Is it clear? From the electrical quantity, we can generate the magnetic flux. Now I will go for reverse. From the magnetic flux, I will generate the current. how to generate the current from the magnetic flux. See here. Now we'll go to the reverse condition. First from the electric we are getting magnetic. Now from magnetic I will get electric. See here. I am having north pole, south pole. Now how the flux will move from north pole to south pole or south pole to north pole?
North to south.
North to south. Here, due to the magnets, there is magnetic flux. Magnets are also magnetic quantity. Magnetic flux is moving from north pole to south pole. Now we are having magnetic field. From this magnetic field, I had to generate the electric current. From this magnetic field, I want to generate electric quantity. See, I am taking one conductor here, one coil. I am taking one coil A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D is the copper coil. A, B, C, D is the copper coil. Draw this. This is the starting point of the coil, point A. Point D is the ending point of the coil. One copper wire I am taking. So A is the starting point, D is the ending point of the copper coil. Copper coil. Coil means winding. Now take down Faraday's first law, side heading. Faraday's first law. Whenever a conductor cuts the magnetic flux, whenever a conductor cuts the magnetic flux, dynamically induced EMF, dynamically induced EMF is generated. Induced EMF is generated in the conductor. Induced EMF is generated in the conductor. Okay. See here, what is the meaning? I am telling. EMF means voltage, electromotive force. EMF means voltage E or V. Voltage E or V, anything you can take. Now what I had told, when this conductor is rotated in this magnetic field, I am rotating this conductor in the magnetic field. I am rotating this conductor in the magnetic field. This conductor is rotated in the magnetic field. When this conductor is rotated in the magnetic field, what it will do? It cuts the flux. You rotate the conductor. If you are rotating this conductor in the magnetic flux, it is cutting the flux or not? It will cut the flux. When it is cutting the flux, when this conductor is cutting the flux, there is change in the flux. When this conductor is cutting this, if you rotate this coil, means in the flux, it is cutting the flux. If it is cutting the flux, there is change in the flux. D phi is the change in the flux with respect to time. D phi is the change in the flux with respect to time. When there is change in the flux, voltage is generated in the conductor. When there is a change in the flux, EMF is generated in the conductor. That is Faraday's first law. So from the magnetic field flux, we are getting the electric quantity E. From the magnetic flux phi, we are generating the electric field E. Okay. In this way, we can generate the electric quantity from the magnetic field. Okay. Whenever a conductor, Faraday's first law is whenever this conductor cuts this flux, an EMF is induced in the conductor. What is that EMF? Rate of change of flux. Rate means d by dt of flux. Rate of change of flux is nothing but the EMF induced in the conductor. Here actually I had to take E is equal to N into d phi by dt. Here I am taking N is equal to 1 turn. Number of turns of this coil is 1 turn. I am taking N is equal to 1. That's why I am not taking N here. Otherwise, you have to take N. E is equal to N into d phi by dt. Number of turns of this coil, copper coil, is 1 turn. I am taking only 1 turn. That's why N is equal to 1. E is equal to d phi by dt. This formula is Faraday's second law. Faraday's first law is statement. Whenever this conductor rotates in the magnetic field, when this conductor is rotating in the magnetic field, it is cutting the flux, magnetic flux. Then there is change in the flux. D phi is the change in the flux with respect to time. When there is change in the flux with respect to time, some EMF is induced in the conductor. Where this EMF is induced? In the open circuit. In open circuit, here in between A and D, open circuit is there. In open circuit, you will have voltage or current. Open circuit lo emuntundi, voltage or current?
Voltage.
Voltage. Current will be
0.
0. Current is 0, but voltage is induced here. Here voltage E is developed in the open circuit. In open circuit, voltage is E is developed. What is that voltage? N into d phi by dt. From the magnetic field, you have generated the electric field. Now, how current will pass here? If you provide the closed path for this voltage, if you provide the closed path here with the help of load, what is the load? Resistance is the load. Resistance is the load. If you provide the closed path for this terminals with the help of external load, this is an external load. This load may be a tube light, TV, fridge, anything. Here I am taking the resistive load. Bulb I am taking. I am taking one bulb, resistive bulb. Okay. Then current will flow in this. Current will flow in this coil. What is that current? I is equal to E by R. I is equal to voltage by resistance. I is equal to V by R. In this way, we are converting the magnetic field into electric current. This is the principle in DC generator. This is the principle in the DC generator. But I am not going for the DC generator. It is not in your syllabus. Why I have told these two things means you should know how to convert electric to magnetic and magnetic to electric. In the first point, I have told around the current carrying conductor, magnetic field is generated. Suppose if a current is passing through the coil, around the current carrying conductor, magnetic field is generated. That is the first point. Second point is reverse. From the magnetic flux, we can generate the current. From the magnetic flux, we can generate the current. First, EMF is induced. E is equal to N into d phi by dt. Later, what we are doing? We are providing the closed path for this EMF with the help of external load resistance R. Then current will pass. Current closed path is there here. Now current will pass like this through A, B, C, D, again R. The closed path is there. Then current I is equal to V by R. That's all about. This is the Faraday's first law, which is used in the DC generator. But in our syllabus, DC generator is not there. Now we'll go to our transformers. All these things nobody will ask in exam. Only transformer they will ask. Now see transformer. I will tell the write on side heading principle in transformer. Write on the side heading principle in transformer. See the diagram. This is your transformer. We are having primary winding. This is the secondary winding. This is the primary winding. This will be the secondary winding. Before going to the principle in what is the principle in transformer is mutual induction. See in red color they are given here. I am pointing with the cursor. See on the screen. Mutual induction. Principle in transformer is mutual induction. But what is this mutual induction? I will explain it on the board. See here. Listen here. V1 is the supply voltage, right? V1 is the supply voltage. V1 is supply voltage. What is N1? What do you mean by N1?
Primary winding.
Number of turns in primary winding. This is the primary winding. N1 is the right one. N1 is equal to number of turns in primary winding. Number of turns in primary winding. N2 is equal to number of turns in secondary winding. Number of turns in secondary winding. Okay, see here. Now when you apply the supply voltage V1, V1 is your AC supply voltage. V1 is your AC voltage. When you apply the AC voltage V1, current I1 is passing because closed path is here. Closed path is here. I1 is flowing through N1. I1 is flowing through N1. I had told around the current carrying conductor, what will happen? See the note point. Around the current carrying conductor, what is developed?
Magnetic field.
Flux.
Magnetic flux is generated. This is the magnetic flux. When current is passing through N1, when current is passing through this N1, flux is generated. Phi11. I am calling this flux as Phi11. I am calling this flux as Phi11 in the primary winding. This Phi11 is called self flux. Phi11 is called self flux. Why it is called self flux means because of its own current I1, because of its own current I1, flux is generated in the primary coil. That's why it is called self flux. There is one more term that is called mutual flux. I'll explain that. First write down Phi11 is equal to self flux. Okay, now see here. Now secondary winding is open circuited or closed path is there? Secondary winding open in the closed in the
Open.
open. What is the current in the secondary winding?
0.
Okay, 0. See here, there is no current. Now here Phi11 is the flux in the first coil. Part of this flux is linking with the secondary coil. Part of this self flux is linking with the secondary coil. Part of this flux is linking with the secondary coil. Then mutual flux is generated in the N2. In between first coil and second coil, mutual flux is generated. That is called Phi21. Phi21 is equal to mutual flux. Phi21 is called mutual flux. Is it clear? Now see here, before going to the mutual flux, first see the self flux, Phi11. What is the voltage in the first? What is the voltage induced in the first coil? E1 is the voltage induced in the first coil. E1 is equal to N1 into d Phi11 by dt. EMF induced in the first coil. This is the first coil. EMF induced in the first coil is N1. N1 is the number of turns in the first coil. What is the flux in the first coil? What is the flux in the first coil? Self flux, Phi11. D phi EMF in the first coil. Now what is the EMF in the second coil? What is the EMF induced in the second coil? What is the EMF? What is the number of turns in the second coil? N2. What is the flux in the second coil?
I21
Phi
by
21 by dt. Okay. Why it is called phi 21? Why not phi 12? Why it is phi 21? Why not phi 12? See here, in the secondary coil N2, in the second coil, flux is phi is developed in the second coil due to first flux. One is due to the first flux. Suppose if reverse happens, then phi 12. Because of the first flux in the secondary coil, in the second coil, phi 2 is the flux in the secondary coil. Due to what? Due to first flux. Due to phi 11, some part of this flux is linking with the secondary coil. Part of this flux is linking with the secondary coil, and flux is developed in the secondary coil. The flux developed in the secondary coil is phi 21. This is the mutual flux. Due to mutual induction. Due to mutual induction, flux is developed in the secondary coil. And some voltage is developed in the secondary coil. E2 is equal to N2 into E2 is equal to N2 into E2 is in N2 d phi 21 by dt. But in the first coil, because of its own current, it is developing the flux in the N1. Because of its own current, it is developing the flux. That's why it is called self flux. Self flux phi 11. Okay. These are the voltages in the primary coil. E1 is the induced voltage in the primary winding. E2 is the induced voltage in the secondary winding. But what is V1? What is E1?
V1.
V1 is supply voltage. V1 is the supply voltage. Suppose if the supply voltage may be 230 volts. In your house, you are getting supply voltage 230 volts, V1. Suppose if I take 200 tons here. If I take 200 tons, N1 is 200 tons. What is the voltage here in N1? What is the induced voltage in N1? 1 ton is equal to 1 volt. 200 tons are there. What is the voltage even? 200 volts. Suppose N2 is 400 tons are there. What is the voltage E2?
400 volt.
400 volts. Sometimes V1 may be equal to E1, but there is no guarantee that V1 is equal to E1 because of the number of turns. You can decide E1. E1 is the induced voltage in the primary winding. Because of the number of turns, it will decide this E1. If number of turns is 500, we'll get 500. Here, number of turns is 300, we'll get 300 volts. Now E2 is less than E1. That is step down voltage. We can step up the AC. This voltage can be stepped up or stepped down with the help of the windings, primary winding and secondary winding. I have already told you, if N2 is greater than N1, it is step up transformer. If N2 is less than N1, it is step down transformer. Now here, open circuit is there. In open circuit, whatever the voltage here, the same voltage is there. Now I am providing the closed path for this secondary winding with the help of load. With the help of load, I am providing the closed path for the secondary winding. Then voltage across the load is V2. V1 is the supply voltage, AC supply voltage. V2 is the voltage across the load. With the help of load, external, some external load here. Then current I2 will flow. What is your resistance or RL load also you can take. We can take resistive load or RL load. Any load you can take. We can take resistive load or RL load. Resistance inductance load. Okay. Now what is the voltage V2 across the load? V2 is equal to I2. Suppose if load is R, what is the value of V2? I2 into R. If it is RL load, suppose if load is RL, what is V2? If it is R load, V2 is equal to I2 into R. If it is RL load, V2 is equal to I2 into Z. What is Z? Z is equal to R plus JXL. V2 is equal to I2 into Z. Z is equal to R plus JXL. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Now see the principle. The principle in transformer is mutual induction. Only one statement you write in the exam. Don't explain all these things. There is no need to draw the diagram also. Only you have to write one statement, one line in exam for 2 marks. What is the principle in transformer means? It is mutual induction. Only one word, mutual induction. Because due to mutual flux, voltage will be stepped up or stepped down. That's why it is called mutual induction. Answer is mutual induction. Okay. Why it is called mutual induction? Why not it is mutual conduction? Why you are calling it as mutual induction? We can also use mutual conduction.
They are not in contact now, sir.
Okay. If there is contact in between the two coils, see here. Suppose if I take two coils here. Sorry. This is the first coil, this is the second coil. This is the first coil, this is second coil. Okay, first coil and second coil. There is a electrical connection in between first coil and second coil. Then it is called mutual conduction. But here there is no connection between these two coils. There is no connection between the two coils. That's why it is called mutual induction. Due to induction, due to the first flux, some flux is induced. Some flux is induced in the second coil. Due to this flux, EMF is generated. There is no electrical contact in between these two. If there is no electrical contact, we are calling it as induction. If there is connection between the first and second coil, that is called electrical conduction. That's why the principle in transformer is mutual induction. That's all about the principle in transformer. Next we'll go to all this concept. There is no need to explain. Only one point here you write, mutual induction. See on the screen, the principle in transformer is mutual induction. Okay. Next we'll go to the transformer construction. Transformer construction. See in the diagram here, this is the coil winding, red color, copper winding, primary coil and secondary coil. But one more name they are suggesting here. What is that name written here? Read this. What is this?
Laminated core.
Laminated core. What is the difference between, what do you mean by coil first of all? This is the coil winding. Coil means winding, copper winding. Then what do you mean by core? Any idea, anybody? See here, core means iron piece. Core means iron piece. It is not the winding. It is the iron piece, laminated core. Why iron piece is laminated? Why you are calling the core as laminated core means? See now I will tell the construction of the core. How core is designed. Iron piece is designed. See here on the board. One second. See, I am taking the rectangular sheet here. So I am taking one iron piece and I am cutting that iron piece in the shape of rectangle. In the shape of rectangle, I am cutting that piece. It may be zigzag iron piece. That zigzag iron piece I am cutting. One sheet I am taking, one iron sheet I am taking, and I am cutting that iron sheet. The length let us take 5 centimeter. Length let us take 5 centimeter. And thickness. What do you mean by thickness? What do you mean by thickness? Okay, see here, this chalk piece. I think chalk piece is visible to you. The length of this chalk piece, let us take 5 centimeter. length of this chalk piece, let us take 5 centimeter. Then what is the thickness of this chalk piece? See here. See this part. I'm not showing the length. Thickness means this one. Okay. Are you understanding what is thickness? One minute. Thickness means this one. This is the length. This from here to here, this is the length. But see here, this is the thickness. This will be the thickness. Thickness of this is 0.5 mm. The sheet thickness is 0.5 mm. 0.5 mm means 0.5 into 10 power minus 3 meter. Very thin. The sheet thickness is very, very thin. Okay, length is 5 centimeter or 1 meter, let us take. But thickness is 0.5 mm. Very thin sheet. Let us take paper. Paper thickness is very thin. Don't see the length. Thickness you see. Thickness is very thin. Very thin paper we are having. Okay, that is the thickness. I am taking one sheet here of 5 centimeter and thickness is 0.5 mm. Like this. This is one lamination sheet. This is called one lamination sheet. Now I am taking this same size, same thickness sheets, nearly 2000 to 4000 sheets. Let us take only 2000 sheets. Of each sheet is 5 centimeter and thickness is 0.5 mm. Now, if all the sheets are placed on the ground, one above the other, you place all the 2000 sheets. How much bundle you will get? This much bundle you will get. Are you getting this much bundle? 2000 sheets. I will get this much bundle. Now what I will do, this bundle is, I will crush it. If I crush the bundle, it is compressed. It will be compressed. Initially this much size is there, 2000 sheets. Now I am compressing this. How we are compressing this? Now take 100 tons weight. What is 1 ton? How many kgs 1 ton is equal to? 1 ton is equal to 1000 kgs. 100 tons means 100 into 1000 kgs. Can you lift this weight with your hand?
No, sir.
Okay. Then with the help of crane, lift this weight. With the help of crane, lift this weight. Now we are having 2000 sheets here. I am having 2000 sheets. Okay. Now on this 2000 sheets, place that weight. On this 2000 sheets, place that weight. 200. To avoid eddy current loss. Write down the question. I am telling one question, write down. Why iron piece is laminated? Why iron piece is laminated? Why core is laminated? Why iron piece is laminated? Write down the question. Why iron piece or core is laminated? Is laminated. Why means answer is to avoid eddy current loss. To avoid eddy current loss. To avoid eddy current loss. Is it okay? Okay, in the next class, I'll explain what is eddy current loss. What are the different types of losses in the transformer? All those things I'll explain in the next class. Today I won't take the class. Whatever the attendance I am taking now, the same attendance I will give in the afternoon class. Tomorrow I will take the class. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
1 minute, I will take the attendance. Okay, these are the absentees. Now you can exit. These are the absentees.
Sir,
Thank you,
18 is
sir.
there, sir.
18 is there?
18.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes,
Still
sir.
anyone? Still anyone? Among these numbers? Okay.
Sir, 50. Sir, 50 is there, sir.
50. Okay. Is it okay now?
Sir, 27 also, sir.
27. Okay.
Sir, 23 also, sir, at the end.
23 I have removed on the board. You see.
Okay, sir.
8, 29, 32, 40, 46, 49, 53.
Sir, 29 I'm there, sir.
29 is there? Okay. Only 3, 4, 6 students are absent. 8, 32, 40, 46, 49, 53. Is it okay? Okay. Now I'm exiting the class.
Yes, sir.
You can leave now.